gold medal athlete, and he's so funny. Let's welcome to the stage, Mr. Brendan Fox.
Yeah. Is this thing working? Doesn't matter. I've had like 7 green teas today. I could probably shout to you guys. Anyways, doesn't really matter. I don't know what all this fit talk is about. I don't even really think I have that impressive a physique. Like seriously, any one of you guys can do this. Just drink a pot of coffee and stay up all night doing girl push-ups. It's not that impressive. Really. So, all right, we might as well get started. Maybe that was. I think that was the wrong way. Okay, I guess we don't have my. Oh, they're going to find my slideshow right now. That's not it. Some girl push-ups? Maybe later if you guys are well behaved. Okay, so basically, anyways, first of all, I just want to say my hat's off. Like, total respect to all of you guys for being here this early in the morning in the name of self-improvement. Because I know that right now there's a lot of people that are just flip-flopping around on their couch and they're letting Prince Snuggie, talking about watching Saturday morning cartoons and stuff like that. So, or there's a lot of people, with those metal detectors trying to find pop tabs and change on the beach. And I don't know who's got time to waste like that. But anyways, you guys are all here in the name of self-improvement and getting healthy and being successful. So my hat's off to you guys for that. And if I screw up today, which is likely to happen, just remember it's really early in the morning for me right now. So, but I have had my 7 green teas, so I think I'm good to go. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, one of the things I was going to talk about, following Pat Burney, Pat Burney's a mom who's had like 4 kids, was a single mom and everything else, and I have a pet fish, so I can't really be as inspirational, but I can sort of talk a little bit about where I come from and my background. First of all, I come from one of the most like vitamin depraved places you can ever think of. Okay? Boom, Oshawa. Right there. So hold your applause. Yes, I'm from Oshawa. If you guys ever want to feel good about your own lives, just take a walk through downtown Oshawa. Alright? Seriously, you'll see people like eating cigarettes and smoking paint chips and chasing raccoons out of their house. So whoever just yelled at Oshawa is not that bad. It's clearly from Oshawa. Okay, so like the rest of the dumb kids in school, the only A I got in school was in phys ed. All right, so I ended up going on to be a fitness trainer. Actually, sorry, I was going to talk about this. We're going to play a little bit of a guessing game. So I want you guys to see if you can guess who this is. I'll give you a hint. It's not Chris Farley. I know there's a bit of a resemblance. Probably. There you go. Good guess. But yeah, so this was so I used to be fat back in the day, back when I was in university. I was almost 270 pounds. So I know what it's like to have your buddies checking out your breasts because they've gotten so big, and having parts of your body you can't reach. And when you're fat, everyone assumes you're a food expert, right? Like they'll ask you your opinion on food and stuff. And it's like I didn't get fat from being a picky food snob. I got fat because I was eating everything. All right? But the way it happened was actually I was playing university football at Wilfrid Laurier University, and shout out to the Wilfrid Laurier people. But so the team captain told me I needed to gain a lot of weight to play my position better. But he said to me, he's like, Brendan, just be sure you do one thing. Get a girlfriend and then get fat. Because there's nothing worse than being fat and single. Right? So I did. I got a girlfriend and then pulled the old switcheroo. Switch. I don't know where I was going with this slide. So it doesn't help with the purple too. The Barney resemblance there too. I don't know where I was going with this one. It's early. Okay, so I used to work as a trainer for pro athletes. So I started off as training guys in the CFL. I used to be a trainer for Gary Roberts when he was with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I used to do a lot of stuff. I don't have any regrets about any of those experiences. My only regret really in life is being a Leafs fan. Any Leafs fans here today? Yeah. See, you know what? Then you guys would know it's done nothing but given us failure and disappointment in life. Really. Like, that's my one regret in life. Regret number 2 is watching the movie The Love Guru. Do not do it. I don't care how good the other Mike Myers movies were. Okay, so then at one point in my career, because of working with pro athletes and stuff, I actually was fortunate enough to get nominated to be with the Canadian Olympic team in 2006 with the medical team. And I remember when I got nominated, and the other candidates, I think I was against about 8 other candidates, and they all were much more qualified than I am. And I remember we were in the qualification process, and they said to me, they're like, Brendan, okay, we're going to be in Italy, and we've got French-speaking athletes, so we just wanted to know, how many different languages do you speak? And I was like, oh, there's one question that's going to weed me out. But anyway, I said to them, I said, first of all, guys, I have really good news for you. All right, I am totally fluent in English. And second of all, I can learn whatever language you want in time for the Olympics. So they asked me to learn Italian, and so I did. And I ended up getting selected to be with the team. And I'll tell you, the thing with Italian is it's actually a pretty easy language. Like, you can take any English word and just add the E sound to it, and they know what you're talking about. So I bet you guys didn't think you were getting an Italian language lesson, but anyway, any word, like let's say popcorn, all of a sudden you just call it popcorny and they know what you're talking about. I don't even think that's the Italian word. And the other thing I used to do as a fail-safe, if you ever go to Italy, is once I started talking Italian, the locals would speed up and I totally lose them. But I had this line, I just say, tu sei buffo, which means you is funny. It's intentionally grammatically incorrect. So then they'd start laughing, and everyone who was watching the conversation would think I was really getting along well with them. But really, it was just a way to slow them down and remind them that I'm kind of an idiot when it comes to that. So I got to attend a lot of the Olympic events for Team Canada while I was there. When you're a kinesiologist, people don't really use the kinesiologist at the Olympics because not many people show up there needing rehab. So I ended up being more of a qualified spectator than anything, to be totally humble about my situation. That's Team Canada women's hockey. I think that was right after they beat Russia 12-0. And they totally trounced everybody. So that was one of my favorite things to watch out there. But you know, the crowd doesn't really get as excited as they should when the Team Canada women's hockey's playing, because they just clobber everyone, and you know, nobody really celebrates when a steamroller crushes an ant. And that's basically how it was, Team Canada women's hockey. So this is a picture in Olympic Village, and that's one of the Team Canada buildings. So I was working in the health center, and because I wasn't actually doing any kinesiology or training, because those services weren't needed, I was actually doing a whole bunch of other different things. And one of the things was I was going over all the spreadsheets of all the different supplements and vitamins everybody was on. And that's when I first heard about the USANA company, and I started to get a little bit curious. I'm like, okay, if this stuff is good enough for the Olympic athletes, because I know they take that stuff very seriously, if it's good enough for the Olympic athletes, it's certainly worth looking into a little bit closer. And also, I mean, even if it isn't good enough, like if you can trick an Olympic athlete, you deserve my money. Those people are hard to fool. Okay, so, sorry, I can, yeah, sure. So basically I copycat role modeled them. Like I said, you know, I've got a pet fish, I don't have a pet cat. Does anybody here, by show of hands, have a pet cat? Yeah? Okay, so everybody who's got their hands up, everyone look around. Those are people that keep boxes of turd in their apartment. If you have a pet cat, that's what that means. I recommend pet fish. Okay, so we're going to play a guessing game now. I actually have one of these things. I'm going to pass it around. You guys can pass it around and just see if you can guess what this is. Does anybody have any guesses at what this is? Tooth. Okay. I hear tooth. Sorry, in the hand. Shark's tooth. Yeah. A wishbone. Okay. Wait, did someone say whale? What was that? Anybody else? Any guesses? Sorry, what was that? Whale? Okay. No, it's not a whale. Okay. Everyone's looking at me. I don't know. Yeah. It's a what? A woman? Okay. Anyways, guys, this is a megalodon tooth. So the megalodon was a massive shark. It was about 8 times the size of Jaws. Okay? And the megalodon used to actually eat whales, and it's considered the most dominant creature to ever live on planet Earth. It had a bite force that was 3 times as strong as the T-Rex. But the megalodon isn't around today. It's been extinct for 1.5 million years. Does anyone know why? No? Omega-3 deficiency, people. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, basically what happened was that the megalodon did not adapt to change in its environment. Okay, blue-green algae was one of the first life forms on Earth about 3.5 billion years ago, and blue-green algae is alive today because it was able to adapt to change in its environment. And that's key because the world we have today is changing a lot. We've got depleted soil that's making our fruits and vegetables nutritionally comparable to water balloons. and they pretty much taste like water balloons, right? We've got higher standards for pet food than people food, so pet food actually has to be proven to sustain human life. People food does not. You know, we're fragile and vitamin deficient like lepers. People are throwing out their backs, tying their shoelaces, whereas back in the day, you know, people used to throw out their backs, deflecting cannonballs off their torso and doing things heroic like that. Also on the Sports Network, we see pudgy geeks playing poker, like on the Sports Network, seriously. Like what's next, like the old maid Olympics? This is in sports, people. And then hands up if you know anyone with cancer. Yeah, hands up if you know anyone with heart disease. Okay, so compared to our ancestors who survived thousands of years of drought, famine, war, natural predators, it isn't those things that's killing us off these days. 50% of us are going to die of cancer and heart disease. So we've got to take a look at our environment and see what's creating that effect. So I'm going to give you guys a quick little question here. Just ask yourself these 3 questions. Do you exercise at least 3 times a week? Do you eat healthy 80% of the time? And are you putting nutrients back into your diet with a top quality vitamin? Just remember what your score is, 1 to 3. And here's your health survival scorecard. Okay, if you picked a 0 to 3, you're comparable to a megalodon from Oshawa. All right? 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, you're still on the path of the megalodon. 3 out of 3, blue-green algae, baby. Okay, now everybody, I'm just gonna ask you guys, what's your favorite song? Anyone just want to shout it to me? Footloose. Footloose. Nice. Okay, we'll go. What'd you say? Oh, Motto by Drake, yeah. Okay, cool. Anyone else want to throw it?
Gangnam Style.
Call me baby.
Call me? Yes. Hey, respect. As a man, I know it's hard to call out that song in front of all these girls, but we have to admit it is pretty catchy. Anyways, all of those songs, you know, they sound okay, but they sound way better when you turn the volume up on them, correct? Absolutely. And all life experiences are much better when you've got optimal health. So whether you're in a relationship, if you're really healthy, that confidence is going to help the relationship. If you're on vacation, you're going to feel better about yourself being in a swimsuit because you've been keeping healthy. Even if you're like totally shit at something, it's better to go from shit to suck. Like just by being healthy, right? So make that your goal, shit to suck. It's good health. And what happens is when I'm talking to people about getting healthy, you know, I always say the investment is worth it because it is like turning up the volume on all the good experiences of your life. And ultimately, life isn't about having more, life is about being more. And the other thing I want to say is that, so basically with all the cancer and heart disease and the poor health these days, guys, everyone in this room has a very impressive role because we're helping human beings get through this gap in evolution in which we're actually killing ourselves. Before it was natural disasters, predators, war, famine, everything else. So I just want to say respect to all of you guys because that's what you're all here today to do. And that makes you an extraordinary soul with a heart of gold, really, when you think about it. Because you guys are here for everybody else when everyone else is watching Saturday morning cartoons, which we could be doing. Right? So just give yourself a hand. Just reach up, we're going to do a little bit of stretch here. Just reach one arm up in the air, like this, yeah? Yeah, okay, just give yourself a pat on the back. There you go. And then remember, forget it. If nothing else, you know what, making people health, like Rich, sorry, it is early in the morning. I need another green tea, number 8. Happy, sad, rich, or poor, it's always cooler to look healthy. Okay, so if you take somebody who's got the face of a sad-looking donkey, if they get really healthy and fit, you're going to look at them and you're going to be like, hey, donkey, looking good. Like, seriously, like it's the last saving grace for people. By show of hands, who thinks the person on the left, the guy on the left, looks sexier? The guy on the left looks sexier? One person? Who thinks the girl on the right looks sexier? All right, so clearly, you know what that means? Clearly we got a room full of lesbians. Mostly girls in the room here today. So anyway, sorry, I think I passed my time. Thank you very much, guys.